Hey baddies, welcome back to my channel. We are doing a different unique look. I haven't done one of these out of the ordinary, different, unique type styles lately, so let's do it, right? And if you hear my background, I'm outside listening to the rain. I'm clearing my soul. I'm kumbayan. I am meditating. I am living life, okay? All right, so you know I'm the cut crease cream white. So what we finna do? A cut crease, of course, right? So this one is going to be black and white on this side. I got a surprise for the other side, but on this side we are going to be focusing on the colors black and white, and that is about it, the hues of that. So you see me really deepening my crease with this black. I'm going to try to show you all the shadows I use as best as I can, because I suck at that. So I'm gonna try to include y'all more in the process. I'm trying to show everything, okay? So I went on ahead and, like I said, deepened that crease with that black, and now I'm going to be going back and forth for a little while between this black and white to get a good ombre, a good fade, a good you know, contrast, a good neutralization. What is the word I'm looking? Y'all see what I'm trying to say, right? But all right, like I said, it's going to be a back and forth process. This is going to be a long process, as I always say, because you cannot rush perfection. What is wrong with you? You can't rush it, baby. Perfection takes time. And if your perfection don't take time, baby, it ain't perfect. I mean, ain't nothing perfect but close to perfect. You see what I'm saying? Right, we're gonna get as close to perfect as we can. That's the goal. So I'm going back and forth. I do not want a harsh line in between these two shades. I want these two shades to fade gradually into one another seamlessly, you know, without any distinction between where one starts and one ends. Okay, I need them blend, happy family together, one, united. Yes. So, like I said, this process is going to be a little bit long, but it was so worth it in the end. Even as I was doing the makeup, I was like, sheesh, child. We didn't even really started yet. We just going through this crease, but the process was worth it. You know, your makeup will, if you rush it, it'll look rushed. Take your time. It'll look like you take your time. It'll look neat. It'll look pretty. It'll look like, oh, girl, how did you do that? And then that's what we're going for. We're not trying to be fast and, well, what's that video? Oh, I could never take that long doing my makeup. Oh, I can tell. Y'all seen that one? Okay, if you didn't, I just told you about it. Okay. But it looks like that fade is finally starting to get right where I want it. I'm going to go back in with some black just to deepen it just a smidge, because I don't want it to get lost when I cut the crease. So I am going back and deepening it just a little bit and then blending it back out again with the white. You will know when I use one shade versus the other, because like I always say, I change brushes just to make it easier on myself. So now we finally got right where we need to be, child, baby. It took long enough, but you see it once I cut this crease, baby. Look at that. Look. Oh my God. Oh my Lord. It's coming together. It's becoming something. You see the look? Do you see the look forming? Do you see where I'm going? Can you guess where I'm going with this, y'all? No? Okay, we're just gonna keep going. Y'all gonna see. Y'all gonna get to it. But on this portion, I always say make sure you take your time making sure that your circle is circular. We want a half circle here. We don't want an oval. We don't want a lopsided circle. We don't want an indentation on one side. We want a nice, clean circle. At least I do when I cut my creases. Some other people may like the little oval effect, or have to, you know, depending on your eye shape, have to change it a little bit. But for my eye shape, I was blessed with some nice, beautiful eyelids, so I circled this thing on out. And now that I have cut the crease, y'all see what I was talking about with I didn't want to lose that black behind there. I just wanted that black just to be just a hint of it, just enough to know that black is there, but for it to not take over the entire look. You see what I'm saying? Right. So here you see me doing exactly what I just said, rounding out my circle. My circle kind of does go into a point when it comes into my inner corner. So I guess it's like a raindrop, half a raindrop. Yeah, that's what it is. It's half of a raindrop. There we go. Yes. And I was using one concealer with this one, and I wasn't really feeling it. It was like, nah. So I went on ahead on top of it with my LA Pro concealer in white, because it wasn't giving me a strong enough background. White out from that black. And on retrospect, I probably could have wiped off that excess shadow when I cut the crease with a Q-tip using like micellar water or a makeup wipe, but I just didn't feel like doing it, so I just put the concealer right on top. And that first concealer wasn't strong enough, so we came on in with the LA Pro, because she comes through every time, darling, every single time, okay? And here you see me just working and making sure that that backdrop is as solid as I possibly can get it. You need a nice, solid, even base if you want a nice, solid, even application of your eyeshadow. It's just that simple. So you see I'm still kind of tweaking the shape just a little bit. I need it to be just perfect, especially since this look is black and white. There's nothing really, you can't really hide your mistakes. It's black and white. It's in your face. It's either right or wrong, right? As you see, boom, perfect. What? I am going to hit this with a fan just for a little bit because I want everything to dry. I want that concealer to dry and oxidize into my skin. And plus, if I start moving that shadow on there too early, it's just going to spread that concealer and it's going to get on the brush and it's going to get all sticky and it's going to be a whole situation. And darling, I ain't trying to do all that, okay? So I am now going to work that black into my outer corner and begin smoking out the cut crease. So I'm just going to blend. And I don't want to blend too high on this outer corner here as I was starting to do. So I went on ahead and grabbed that white and brought it back down a little bit. I don't want to blend it too high because it's going to kind of take away from the effect of the cut crease that I'm going for. I'm not going for a really, really deep smoke out on this eye. I'm just kind of going for just a hint of that black and white. I just needed to poke through. I need you to see it. I needed to know that it's there, but I don't need it to overtake the party. It's not all about you. Okay. So I am going to go ahead and just start tapping that black, and we're just going to start dragging it onto our lid. Like I said, since this look is black and white, I don't really have to worry too much about like blending a color in too much because the concealer is already right itself. I'm actually just setting the concealer on my lid. And that's what I'm going to do now with that. I don't even think this is white shadow. I think this is a very, very pale pink eyeshadow, actually. Well, at least it looks like it in the pan. It looks kind of nudish, pinkish. It doesn't look like a pure white. But once you put it on that white concealer, baby, it whited out the party. It whited everything out. I went on ahead and switched to a smaller, flatter brush so I can go ahead and get into these nooks and crannies of this crease that I created. Don't worry, if I get that little bloop, I will fix it. Don't panic. It's easily fixable. You could either get some more concealer and just shape everything out, or you can come back in with the black, which is what I'm going to do, and fix that little corner situation. Okay. I don't believe I sped anything up in this video, unless it was the eyeliner or something like that. For the most part, it is in real time and nothing really cut, because as I said, this is real. This is trying to tell y'all how it really is to do this stuff. It isn't quick. It isn't spring. I may make it look easy, but it's a long process, baby. And it took a long process for me to make it look easy. Okay, look at my page. I have a video on there of the progress throughout the years. I didn't even know that makeup was going to be what I wanted to do for real, but God works in mysterious ways, and he steered me in this direction, and I haven't looked back since, because it truly holds a good place in my heart. Okay, but we're gonna go ahead with that black. You see I went on ahead and fixed that little boop I messed up in the inner corner of that crease. Come in with a makeup wipe and just clean up all that fallout, which just happened to spread more fallout. Good job, bro. Wiping the other opposite direction to kind of move that. You want to make sure you get all that black shadow, because if you don't get that black shadow and you put your foundation and stuff on top of it, it's very visible. It's very obvious. It's very, what is that on your face? Like, your face looks dirty. Like, you can see it. So please make sure you get all that fallout. If no matter what color it is, get the fallout. But especially if it's black, get that fallout. So you see, I am now moving that brush upwards when I was fixing that little indentation right there, just to make sure everything was spread and even. Now it is time for a wing. Baby, wings. When you're doing an eyeliner wing, baby, you just gotta practice it. It's no trick to it, to the method, to the madness. They got these little pins. They got the triangle on the side. It don't work in my opinion. I tried them. It just made my eye hurt. You just gotta find which method works for you. You see, I started to move extremely slow when it came to making the wing, because I didn't want to make the wing too big to overtake all that blending work that we did on that eyeshadow. You don't want to cover that up. You just want to kind of accentuate it almost. You just kind of trying to change the shape of your eye almost with this wing. So you don't want to do too much and you don't want to do too little. Okay. Now, everybody does their wings a different way. Some people like it when you look down, you have a straight line. Some people like it when you look down, it's kind of crooked. But as you open your eye, it's a perfect, triangle on your outer edge, pushing your eye up, giving you kind of a facelift effect. It all depends on who you are and what you like. This is the way I like to do it. If you like to do it this way, cool. If I teach you something new, I love it. But, I'm just showing y'all how I do it and how I think it works best for me. Okay? Again, we're going to hit this look with the fan while I go ahead and get this glue on my lashes, hunty, on my lashes before we start on the other side, okay? And we're gonna go ahead and pop that lash on. Remember to always put a thin layer of glue on your lash line before you put that lash on to give it something to adhere to. Now for the other side. Here's the big surprise, y'all. I am doing a mismatch look. I know, I haven't done a mismatch look in forever, but it is time to bring out of the ordinary of the makeup artist, okay? So I wanted this look to be very tropical feeling, almost like the exact opposite of the other side. The other side is kind of dark and loomy and, bleh. And this side I want it to be happy and tropical and colorful and yeah. So that's what we're going for. Now, when I am doing this transition, I am only doing 2 colors. This is a yellow shadow and a blue shadow. I am going to show y'all the eyeshadow palette a little later in the video. It is by Juvia's Place. I don't know why I didn't show y'all at the beginning, but halfway through, I somehow realized that I didn't show y'all, and I started showing y'all. Okay, so just wait for it. But if you did not pay attention in art class, or you did not have art class, or you don't remember, if you mix blue and yellow, it makes green. Okay, so where do these accents be coming from? I don't know. But I just mix these two together and just on top of each other, right, just back and forth motion, and it created that beautiful green. Now, I did this because it made it so I won't have to do as much work. I know the Juvia Face palettes shadows blend marvelously. I mean, they blend almost effortlessly, like seriously. So I knew that if I put these two together, they wouldn't let me down. They would come through. And look at that. Look at that. It is literally a fraction of the time when I was doing the other side, which was black and white. So, that's what I'm always... It truly depends on the products you use and the skill you have. That makes a difference. It makes a difference. Because you could have some good skills and some horrible products and your stuff still looks like crap. I'm just saying. But if you get good products and you start off bad, you can only improve because your products is helping you half the way. Okay? So you see, I'm just blending back and forth. I am going in between these 2 colors. As I say, you will know when I change colors because I change brushes most time. But I'm just going right on top of that blue that I created. I literally just went right on top with the yellow and began blending them through and blending them up into my eyebrow. Now, on this side, I did blend the shadows up into my eyebrow a lot more than I did on the black and white side because I wanted to draw emphasis on the color of this side versus the not color of the other side. So that's why I went up a little bit higher. Change brushes. I'm trying to just build this creep. I want to deepen it just a little bit. Here is the palette I am using, and this is the only 2 colors that I use to create this crease. Look, yes, honey, I finally got there, and we're gonna just cut it. I wanted that blue to be just a little bit deeper, but I think the green kind of took over the party, and I was fine with that, so I just rolled with it. And we're just going right in with that LA Pro. I didn't use the other concealer this time. I just went on with the big dogs because why waste my time? Just going with the big dogs from the jump. And I'm going ahead and cutting it. And I'm trying my best to make sure that they match because what do I always say, y'all? If you're going to cut your crease, it got to match. You got to match. If it don't match, it's going to look crazy, baby. And I don't want you to look crazy. I want you to look good. I want you to look good, not crazy. Right, okay, so I'm just taking my time. I am using a very, very, very flat concealer brush. I believe this one is by e.l.f., if I'm not mistaken. And it just gives me, again, room for control. It is all about being able to control your product. Don't put that much product on your brush. Put just enough. If you feel like it's not enough, that's fine. Still, don't put any more unless you're confident. Because you can always put more on, but you can't. It's very hard to take away. Especially when you're doing a cut crease. You literally would have to start your whole eye over again almost, okay? Once again, we're going to hit this look with the fan. With the pineapple fan, baby. We're going to hit this look and we're just going to make sure everything is drying. I don't want to move too fast, even though I still did end up moving too fast on this look. You will see, on this side anyway, you'll see in a second what I'm talking about. I should have let that concealer dry just a tad bit more. but we're still rolling with it and we're still working with it. Okay, I'm coming in with this blue. Now this is the blue that we started with when cutting this crease, remember, but it's just we blended it so good, baby, it turned into a whole nother situation, a whole nother color, a whole nother horizon, darling. Okay, but we're going back in with that blue and we are just going to take it in the outer corner. We're doing exactly like we did on the other side. We're just using colors. Okay, coming in with the yellow and we're just going to fix it. You see that concealer is beginning to bleed right there on top of that crease because I did not give it a good opportunity to dry all the way. So you see how I'm giving extra work for myself because now I have to blend this out and make sure it's seamless. And you can notice that I had a bloop up. Okay, that I had a bloop up. I did. Okay. But now we're going in with that yellow because again, I wanted to stick with the same colors that I used when cutting the crease. I wanted to use all the same colors. Okay. Yes. So I want to keep, like I said, I want to keep the same colors that I worked in that crease. I wanted to use the same variety as I did the other side. I didn't want to do too much, but just enough. Y'all see that crease is bleeding. It's still bleeding because that concealer isn't drying. It's okay. We're going to work it out. We're going to go right in with that yellow and we're going to blend it out. I know y'all are panicking. Don't panic. This is how we fix this. I went on ahead with that yellow. I spreaded the concealer just a little bit more. And then we're going to go in with that blue and we're going to make what? Green again. We're going to make green and we're just going to blend it seamlessly just like that. You see that? Do you see that? And it helped me deepen that crease just a little bit like I wanted to in the first place. So accidents are sometimes good, baby. When you focus on makeup, your nose runs and you sneeze. Bless me. Sorry about that. But back into it. All right, we're just going to put that blue right on top of that yellow that we created right there to seamlessly blend that blue up, baby. Seamlessly blend that blue up. Just back and forth. Back and forth. Back and forth. Blend it all the way up towards the front. Towards the front of the eye. Just get that crease deepened and depth. Y'all see how that shadow is now working? We now have the shadow behind the crease to create the cut crease because that contrast is where it's at, baby. That contrast is where the makeup starts popping. You see it's popping now, baby. It's popping. Okay, we're coming right on in with that yellow and we're going to finish this look on up. I did just sit there for a couple minutes, scroll on my phone for a second just to give that concealer time to dry. I didn't want to hit it with the fan because I didn't want to shock it. I just let it air dry for a little bit. Then I came on and back in with that yellow and we're just going to work it in. Again, we're using that flat, smaller brush so we can control where we put that shadow and we can put that shadow right where that crease line starts, baby, and just blend it. And we're going to go up, back and forth on these, baby. Because again, if we mix blue and yellow, we get the green, baby. I didn't really want a very strong green right here. I kind of just want the shadows just to blend. It kind of, again, if you mix them, it makes green on their own, but I wasn't really trying to get yellow, green, blue in this cut crease. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? I hope it makes sense. Okay. So again, I'm just going back in with that yellow. You'll see me going back into the yellow throughout the look because yellow is just one of those colors that takes multiple layers. It's almost like white. You got to layer it and layer it and layer it and layer it. You need that pigment to layer on top of itself to get as solid and not splotchy or spotty or discolorized. You need it to be as that solid pigment as much as possible. And that requires layers of that pigment. Okay. And I'm going back in and we're just blending. I'm blending everything together. I'm using that same brush and just literally gliding it over my shadow and coming back in with that yellow. I did clean the brush before I went back in with the yellow. And then came back in with that yellow again. I need that yellow to be solid. You see, the more and more I go into it, the solider and solider. Is that a word, girl? The more solid and brighter. There we go. I'm making up words. Ooh, anyway, the brighter and brighter it becomes. Okay, you come on in with a third layer. Again, the brighter and brighter it becomes. Now, part of this is my fault because I did not let that concealer dry before I put that shadow on. So it created a weird situation that required multiple layers, probably been more than normal. So that's my fault. But we fixed it. Now, of course, this is the color side, so it would only be right if I come in with the exact opposite of what I put on the black side, which was, the opposite of black would be yellow in my opinion. Okay, it's night and day. Sunny versus night. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead now. This is where I bring this wing up farther than I did on the other side. Intentionally, not intentionally, kind of both, because again, I didn't want it to get lost and I wanted you to see the boldness versus the other side. You won't really be able to tell the difference between the shape because I bring the wing out and up the same distance I do on the other side. I kind of just bring it up on my lid a little bit more than I do on the other side, if that makes sense. That makes sense, y'all? Okay, just look at your girl work. Just look at your girl work. Again, like I said, these wings, They take practice. They take time. There's no way for me to give you the magic step. There's not, because even I blep up. Okay, I thought I messed up on this wing. I just kept going with it. I just take my time, and layer after layer after layer after layer. It's just a little bit after a little bit after a little bit until I got that point all the way right. Till I got that line as straight as I could. That's pretty much all you can do, is just take your time and work with it. That is what I always encourage you to do, is just take your time and work with it. Okay, the line wasn't straight. I'm just going back in and back in, check the other side, back in, back in, back in, back in. Okay. And this eyeliner is by NYX. I didn't really, I sped the video up for y'all because I'm just cleaning up the eyeliner, but I didn't really too much care for this eyeliner when I first started working with it. But if you give it a good shake, and keep it sitting up in the way you store it instead of laying down, it does work a lot better. I saw another influencer say something about it, so I started sitting them up instead of like laying in a tray or in a drawer. And ever since then, they kind of do, the consistency is a lot better. It doesn't take as much to get that, that color payoff, which I am very happy about. I'm going to go ahead and clean up that wing because it is yellow. I need it to be a bold line, baby, a bold, sharp, cut you knife right now. Okay, so I'm just taking my makeup wipe to clean it up, and I'm gonna draw a line right where I cleaned up, just to get rid of that blue shadow that was kind of peeking through from the crease behind it. Okay, and look at that, it's literally night and day from one side to the other. Oh my goodness, it's beautiful. Yes, it's beautiful. And what I'm gonna do, you see that white line right where that crease is starting, right where we cut it. I don't like that. So we're going to, again, go in with another layer of that yellow eyeshadow and pop that lash on. And by golly, girl, you got it. By golly, you did it. It's cute. I didn't really know where I was going with this look. I knew I had an idea in my head, but you know how you have an idea, but you don't know if you can execute it quite properly. Now, this wasn't what I envisioned, but it was twice as better. It's just that, okay? And then we're going to pop this lash on. If y'all want to see the foundation routine, I do have it in a short on my channel, but I am just going to pop this lash on, baby, and I'm going to give y'all the final result, okay? Make sure you get that lash right on top of your natural lashes and push that lash in, baby. Push it in and lift it up. And, baby, the final result in 3, 2, Betty! Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Make sure you like, subscribe. See you next time.